Well, our last match is between Swansea and Liverpool. And who would have thought that when John Toshak took over as manager of Swansea, then in the 4th Division, in February 1978, that they would today stand 9 points ahead of his old team, Liverpool, in the 1st Division. That's a miracle in itself, but in the past. In the FA Cup, it's the performance over 90 minutes on the day that counts. Your commentator is Barry Davis.
Both sides begin the year and the cup under new skippers. Graeme Souness taking over from Phil Thompson for Liverpool, and the Yugoslav Ante Rajkovic replacing the former Liverpool player Colin Irwin for Swansea. And the team sheets handed to referee Clive White both show changes. Swansea recall Chris Marustic and Nigel Stevenson at number 3 and number 6. They replaced Jimmy Hadziabdic and Max Thompson. But although the changes are in defence, John Toshak will be looking for improved form from his front players who've not been among the goals lately. Liverpool bring back Terry McDermott to their team. Craig Johnson is injured. Ray Kennedy and David Johnson suspended. Alan Kennedy wears number 8, will surely play at left back, releasing Mark Lawrence into midfield. Sammy Lee is moved down to substitute. It's obviously a very special afternoon for John Toshak, coming immediately after his award of the MBE in the New Year's Honours List, a list which also included his former chairman, John Smith of Liverpool, who was awarded the CVE. We've got a cold, wet and rather blustery afternoon for a match which really is something of a contradiction. Swansea 9 points and 9 places above Liverpool, but such has been the speed of their rise and the status of their opponents that they're looked upon as having an opportunity to bring down the mighty. Here's Colin Irwin, Swansea in white, Liverpool in red. And the first touch for Nigel Stevenson. And the first feel of the ball for Di Davis. Swansea basically with 2 forward, and James here on the left side, the 2 being Curtis and Latchford. Useful. One has to say that although he's now got a free kick, that on a day like this, surely Grobbelaar should have put that over the top. To try and make a catch so close to his line in a swirling wind was asking for trouble. Curtis was looking for the early shot. Obviously feeling that an early test of Bruce Grobbelaar, who's had his problems recently, could be useful from a Swansea viewpoint. He looks unconcerned. James, Thompson. Curtis, and Hansen getting himself on the wrong side, and the free kick given for the challenge on Latchford. And we've got a real cup tie atmosphere at the Vetch Field, and it also has a special Welsh flavour. Gary Stanley might have a crack. Does indeed. Oh! And it was allowed to go through. I don't know whether it brushed Leighton James, but Grobbelaar not very happy with the cover. And that really was enough to make his moustache curl. Rush forward, both in person and in numbers. And here's McDermott. Oh, I suspect he changed his mind about 4 times then as to just how he was going to hit that. But he got himself into space. The ball just wouldn't quite arrive as ideally as he would have liked, and he didn't trouble Davis as a result. Stanley. Very important little brush of the forward. James. He's got in a curler. Mahoney. Still Mahoney. But he didn't really strike it cleanly. As he tried the run through, he just didn't get the power when he needed it. Mahoney. Well played by Robbie James. Rush. Dalglish. Whelan. It's not a good ball. Wasn't a good clearance either. And here's Dalglish. And Whelan just to his right. He couldn't slot it through. Irwin does for the second time. Bouncing all over the place. There's Marustic who got it away to Alan Kennedy. And he seemed to have been beaten, but he wouldn't give up. The press box packed to capacity, and they've had plenty of notes to make. Hansen. Rush. Stevenson. Good piece of play by Rush. Able to put it back nicely, but it fell for Stevenson, another oncoming player. Dalglish. Oh, he worked it beautifully. But the extra touch took the ball away. A fine piece of play by Dalglish. Got himself the space for the shot, but it was deflected wide of the goal. And Thompson up for the corner. Here's Neil. Davis taking it with supreme confidence. Both today's goalkeepers have had their critics in the earlier weeks of the season. Grobbelaar in recent weeks particularly. Neil. Good switch of attack. Mahoney. Rush. Dalglish inside, McDermott behind. Here's Dalglish. Robbed by Rajkovic. McDermott with room and time to cross. And here's Hansen. And the time very well used, and the defender coming forward and not being spotted. So just after the 35th minute, Liverpool take the lead. Had so much time there, McDermott, to measure the cross, and he picked out the man who arrived last and arrived best, Alan Hansen. So the man who got the winner in last season's League Cup opens the scoring in the third round here of the FA Cup. Well, that was a very competitive challenge by Neil. The referee had a very clear view, but the reaction of the crowd tells what they thought about it. Leighton James runs back looking daggers at the linesman. Douglas. Rush. Lawrenson. James. Curtis. Latchford on the penalty spot. Hansen takes charge. Mahoney could have run to the goalkeeper, but they didn't want to let it do so, it seems. Douglas. He's got Alan Kennedy in. Rush in the middle, so is Whelan. And the goalkeeper struggling! And finally put in by Rush. Rush the scorer after Whelan had got the header, and Davis, sadly for him, was really nowhere with the cross. And the whole atmosphere has changed. Had one goal, there was just a thread in it, but now there's real comfort for Liverpool, and Swansea have to do to Liverpool what Liverpool did to Swansea in the league at Anfield earlier in the season, come back from 2 down. Here's Leighton James. And 2-0 at half-time it is, with the goals scored by Alan Hansen, and right at the death of the first half, Ian Rush. And what started so well for Swansea is a little bit sour at the halfway point. How good it is to see Vetch Field packed to the rafters. Every seat is taken, and every vantage point is being used in spite of the weather. And of course they'll be telling themselves at this moment they're about to see one of the best comebacks of all time in the FA Cup. But even bearing in mind Liverpool's in and out form this season, can any side come back from 2 down to them? Obviously they believe they can. Only Rush forward, but help arriving from behind in the persons of Whelan and Dalglish, who's left now of Whelan. And here is Dalglish. So much time, but he hasn't used it yet. And Rush denied by Davis. McDermott, and the goalkeeper able to recover. Really, because McDermott didn't give it enough grief. But how did Dalglish, who had so much time, not bury the opportunity? And I would think, had he done so, he would have buried Swansea's hopes too. Latchford. Bill Thompson just there. Rush. Stanley. Liverpool picking up so many of the pieces. Lovely change of angle by Dalglish. This is Lawrenson. McDermott arriving on the far post. Lawrenson might do it alone. What a lovely ball by Dalglish. By Stevenson. James. Free kick just outside. After Thompson had made a very important interception. Grobbelaar checking the cover on his right post. Swansea with 4 players who will come from his left. Maybe a strike from James. Souness poised to attack the ball. Oh, fine save! Oh, and it's turned over the top. No wonder they put their heads in their hands as Bob Latchford stabbed at it, and somehow the ball curled up over the top. Rajkovic. Really not at all concerned about using his physique. And the two skippers not having their happiest moment there. McDermott. And the suggestion is that Swansea, or indeed they do, immediately make their substitution. And it's Maxwell Thompson who comes on. And he's replaced Marustic, who's already gone to the bench, as we saw. What's that going to do to the permutation of the team? Thompson has taken a position in defence. Well, the head came down rather than the other way around, and here's Lawrenson. Oh, I say, what finish! What superb finish! There was a man totally sure of what he was going to do. He could have gone down at the attempted tackle and would have got a penalty had he done so. But he waited for the movement and slid the ball under the advancing keeper. And Swansea make their substitution, but surely at the same moment go out of this season's FA Cup competition. Thompson's header. Here's Maxwell Thompson. And there will be shades now of last year when they lost in the opening round 5-0 to Middlesbrough. The irony for John Toshak is that before the third round draw was made, he tipped Liverpool to win the cup. I wonder if he'll be right. John Mahoney. An encampment in the Liverpool half, for which they could now pay very dearly indeed. It's 4 against 1 here. Dalglish went too soon. Neil has now gone too soon and is well offside. They made a bit of a nonsense of that, Liverpool. But here's Dalglish. And here's Whelan. And twice McDermott was the second one denied. And not too much was known by Swansea as the ball came back into play twice. Davis can turn and look at his left-hand post. James. Intended for Latchford. Souness. And again from Rush, that's beautifully done. And so is the finish. Well, the old 1-2, as they say. And another fine finish. Rush and Souness linking so well. And Rush finishing with some aplomb. And making it a very cruel score for Swansea. McDermott coming forward, Thompson across. Toshak in reflective mood, understandably so. Souness, and Liverpool were the mighty, as it proved. Graeme Souness leading his team to, in the end, a comprehensive victory. But the killer goal was the one on the stroke of half-time from Ian Rush. And John Toshak, big man that he is, has to be big, as I'm sure he will be in defeat. Dalglish showing a great deal of his old form, and Liverpool showing once again that they have been buried far, far too soon. This year is a different year, but we saw quite a lot of the old Liverpool. And the true Liverpool producing a 4-0 scoreline.
And no complaints at all about that result either. Swansea encountering a slice of uncompromising reality. A brilliant past, but from now on, life can only get harder, I'm afraid. Because those who are used to winning major honours don't let them go easily, as Graeme Souness reminds us.
Well, as I said, it's a nice way to start, and if we can keep that going, you never know what we're capable of. We might even win something again this year.
Make a change, wouldn't it?
Well, I hope come May we've got something on the sideboard again. Used to it.